You're listening to Until They Sleep, a podcast where two parents finally get to sit down and discuss all the different things that run through their heads every day because their four kids are finally asleep. Thanks for listening. And welcome back. I guess I should say we are welcome back. We haven't recorded in a couple weeks. You are listening to Until They Sleep. I'm Shantelle, and I'm joined by my husband.
Hello, I'm Daniel.
And yeah, it's been, like 3 weeks, 2 weeks since we've recorded?
Yeah, and it's been interesting. No, it's been 2. It feels like forever. But yeah, it's been a while. So yeah, our email and our info has been going crazy in the last week because this last week we didn't put anything out. So everybody's like, "Oh, where are you guys? What happened?" Or,
in our dreams.
Are you guys having technical difficulties? Hey,
yeah,
it's nice to
we're
dream.
not.
Okay, yeah,
we're not there. We're not there. We were out because I was out. Our last subject was on sugar and
We talked about it like 2 weeks ago. It came out briefly, and then the following episode after that, we just kind of concentrating on sugar because I think we felt like we had a lot of things to say about sugar and how
we really
felt about
didn't
it.
finish talking about
Oh no,
sugar.
we could have gone on for hours and forever. But amongst all that stuff, if you don't mind, I'm gonna jump in real quick, and I was just gonna say, so that was 1 week. We started with one thing, and then it went to sugar, and we were asking people to take the challenge about quitting sugar. And then I was going to quit coffee. So immediately after the first recording, I quit coffee. So I
guess it's technically 2 recordings ago.
Yeah. So
2 episodes ago.
I have been now just past 3 weeks. Just literally past 3 weeks. Just past that mark. And
how do you feel?
I feel fine. It's no biggie. I haven't been craving it, so it's weird because there was times when if I wouldn't have coffee for a day or something like that, I was like dying. I felt miserable, like like when you get a cold or something. And now I just like the first day I had a little headache and I just killed like a liter of water on a mason jar and let me see, what does it say on it? Yeah, whatever, 24 ounces of water, and the headache went away. And so the following day, same thing. I had a little light headache. 24 ounces of water went away. Third day, it just became a routine. Wake up, which is usually my routine was always drinking a whole thing of mason jar of water.
But you got away from it for a while.
Yeah, but yeah, I've been fine. It's been great.
Yeah,
I mean,
me too.
I think when I see people with a coffee like at night, I'm like, oh, it looks good. But it's just for that second, and then I'm over it.
It's not like a hard craving.
Yeah. Yeah, and then when I tell people, I quit coffee, it's like, oh yeah, I haven't seen you walking around with coffee.
Yeah,
so yeah,
because you would take 2 coffees to work. You would take one for the road and one for the road there, one for the road back.
Yeah,
plus whatever cup you had for breakfast. So it was almost 4 cups because those are big mugs you were taking with you.
Yeah, it was easily like 12 cups a day. Like, because if you think about it, when you make the coffee pot, it says 12, right?
Yeah,
12 cups.
I guess that's true. You were drinking it by yourself.
Yeah, it's 12 cups. I was drinking about 12 cups a day.
He was drinking 12 cups a day.
Yeah, so I was have I mean, a cup. The cup measurement is smaller
I was
than
drinking
the actual
half
coffee.
a cup, so like whatever was in that 12 cups. Sometimes I would have half of one of my mugs, and the rest would be yours.
Yeah,
that's true.
So
yeah. Well, yeah, we've both been off coffee. The smell is nice, but other than that, I agree. I'm not craving it, and I think it's the sugar we're not craving.
Well, usually either I drink it black or with honey. So,
but that's still a sweetener.
Yeah, but what about when it's just black?
Yeah,
exactly.
So, well, we did it. And he did it. And we did have, 2 people said that they were going to quit also. I don't know if they actually did because I have been not really on.
2 people, people from your side? People that you know?
They on the stories as the 2 people said they were going to.
Oh.
So, I mean, I don't know if they actually did. But I guess I have to chime in and check. Again, I was the one who was out, and we're gonna, I guess, touch on that today because the question is it because of the sugar? So I have a medical mystery that I have not been diagnosed with yet because they don't know what's wrong with me. I've been in and out of the ER, in and out of urgent care, on and off the phone with different doctors and advice nurses, and they can't find, they can't figure out what's wrong with me.
Right. Yeah. It's been a crazy couple of weeks
Since
it
4th of
started.
July.
Yeah, but it got worse here, which is part of the reason why we weren't able to record. We enjoy recording. We enjoy, letting you guys in on what's going on in our lives. But unfortunately, things were kind of weird, so we really didn't have the time for it. So yeah, if you wanna, I didn't know if we wanted to talk about it, but go for it.
Well, I
just
kind of
touch about
want
it, see
to,
where we can
I
go.
want to touch on the, medicine and medical stuff. And, I've got people telling me that it's because my system was overloaded with sugar and carbs. I am not in agreement with that because I really don't eat a lot of those things. I would have maybe a toast with jelly once a day or every other day. I drank milk. I think that's the most carbs I drank on a regular basis was drinking milk. Juice with like watered down juice sometimes, for with a meal. But we're not big soda people. We're not. I'm not like a candy bar person. I'm not out there eating a bag full of chips or all these different. I'm not out there. I can't. My nose is just my throat are bugging me. Anyway, so I'm not a big carb person per se, right? I mean, yeah, I have rice, I have potatoes. I know that those are carbs, but they're limited. They're in small quantities, right? It's definitely higher on the protein, lower on the carbs for me. So I am confident that carbs are not what's doing me in. I know I had an allergic reaction to something that I ate the week of 4th of July. My lower extremities became swollen, like end of term with a 10-pound baby swollen legs for any ladies out there who understand that reference. Anyways, they were huge, and it took about 3 days for my system to kind of get rid of that swelling, at least where it was like obvious or super obvious. But the sensation of swelling never left. I constantly felt like my feet and my legs were swollen. And eventually it ended up radiating up my leg, especially my left. And this is affecting mostly the left side of my body. So because of that, there's always, oh, you're having a stroke or you have a blood clot. And, it definitely went up into my left arm. But this is over a period of several days and then weeks. So we're now a month into this, and currently my symptoms are being managed because by medication. And tomorrow is my last day of it, and we'll see if this medication ends, if it all just comes piling back on. They have scheduled me to see a neurologist because medically there's no blood clots. They couldn't find anything wrong with my blood. I'm not diabetic, not even near being diabetic. There's nothing wrong with my heart. They did find something in my brain, but they're pretty sure it's not what's causing whatever this is. I would still really like to know what is in my brain that they saw, because how do they know that that's not what's causing this? It's what doctors say. Anyways, that's, I guess, why they're sending me to a neurologist. And in the interim, I've also scheduled myself with an acupuncturist, and we'll be seeing a chiropractor trying to figure this all out. I think I even have one of my dad's coworkers. She's going to do some body coding on me from a distance, trying to work on my energy field.
What is body coding? I'm sure a lot of people want to know that.
Okay. I can't give you like specifics. I just know that in general, body coding is like muscle testing, but there are some people that are really good at it and they can do it from far away. I don't know.
It's
I
one of
don't
those hippie things.
it's I guess, but I believe in it. So maybe it's a placebo, maybe it'll work. I don't know. Some people believe in it. So body coding. Look it up if you'd like to know more information because I'm really not that versed on body coding. My dad did want me to learn it, but I have not gone that route yet. It is based on muscle testing,
But from a distance.
but from a distance. Yeah, it's like I said.
Oxymoron? Yeah.
I don't know. It's anyways. This is just all the stuff that I'm just like, yeah, go ahead, yeah, go ahead. Anything to figure out what the heck this is because clearly the doctors have no clue. I lie. One doctor does think it's hormonal.
Yeah. So now I'm going to tell you from the other side of the story, right? Like, not from the person that's going through it, but the person that's seeing it. So, yeah, she's been going through, nobody knows their body better than your own self, right? So she feels weird. She feels different. She's pointing out what's going on. And, she just tells me in moments like, hey, like my legs falling asleep. My ankles feel swollen. My hands feel swollen. Something's wrong. I look at her feet. At moments, they look normal to me. At moments, they do look more swollen to me. So I was like, okay, I see it. Put your feet up. You want to ice pack it. You want to rub them down. Like, tell me what to do. And then, she keeps on complaining about it. But I started noticing that, and she noticed it first. She's the one who pointed it out for me. But there are certain times at night, where she starts having these issues, the strongest. And it keeps on traveling. But when it all started, she said, I think I have a clot on my leg. And I was like, how can you have a clot? You haven't had an accident or anything. Me being naive because my experience with a clot came from an accident. But she kept on pointing it out, and everything she said kind of sounded like a clot because she was describing what I went through.
Yeah, pain in my left calf, pain radiating down into my foot, the swelling.
Yeah, so she kept on going into the doctors and typical blood work, nothing's wrong. Went into urgent care, blood work, nothing's wrong. When she took me in, because of my back problems, the same thing, she had blood work done. I think that was the second time. Mm-hmm. And the same thing, we can't find anything wrong. So, she was scheduling doctor appointments. Then the weekend goes by, and she's like, I wake up, and she's like, I'm on my way to urgent care. I don't feel good. And then she's coming home, and next thing you know, she's like calling back, and it's like, hey, I went to the ER. It got worse. Then one doctor, I guess, said it could be hormonal.
The doctor at that particular ER, because I ended up at 2 different ERs, the doctor at that particular ER told me that based on the cycle of my symptoms, because the worst of it is between midnight and 3 a.m, that he felt that it was hormonal because at that time of the day, and this is something new that I learned, is when your adrenals basically are dumping and you've got hormones. All your hormones are dumping at that time of night.
Right. So
especially for women.
That 4 hormones mainly.
It's 4 hormones. So there was
but we learned that from another doctor.
Yes.
Once we were in the ER.
Yeah. So when I ended up in the ER the next time on a true emergency, even got my first ambulance ride. I've never had that experience before. That doctor, when I told her, when we finally got a good doctor, into the ER, for the shift, we were there, almost 12 hours.
So I got there. So I was at work. She calls me when I'm trying to leave. She's telling me she doesn't feel well. I told her, can you just wait for me to get there? She's like, nope, I don't feel great. I need to get going. And I was like,
It's
okay,
like 2 in the morning.
don't tell anyone. Just leave a note or anything. I'll take care of it later. Just go. Like, don't. I was like, don't worry your mom. Of course, my wife does always the opposite of what I ask. And she goes and wakes up her mom and tells her and stresses out her mom.
Because of the kids.
Like I said, I would have handled it.
Well, you weren't
later.
Here.
Yeah, but I would have let her sleep at least a couple more hours. Bottom line, she doesn't listen, so she told her mom. Her mom was like freaking out, and she didn't sleep the rest of the day. Also, so she Tells me she's leaving. We're on the phone. Next thing you know, she's like, I need to go. I need to call 911. This is getting worse, and my face is killing me. She
Oh,
pulls
yeah.
over.
My face went numb.
She calls 911. The ambulance shows up. And then she calls me back. Like, I see the ambulance. And I just asked her to keep me online, and I can hear everything. And I was like, man, she's going to get a stroke. But she passed all the tests because they're doing them on the ambulance. But it was the longest ride. And so we're just going to cut to it. I think I got to the hospital, to the ER around 2 in the morning. She had already been there. She had beat me by, like, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes. Talk about a situation, like, right before I took to, like, this little back road because I went to check on the car to make sure it was locked and everything because of where she ended up getting picked up. I didn't know if it was a safe spot, but once I saw it, it was good. But it was under construction, of course, at night, so you had to wait for turns to go. So that made me more stressed out. And then I get there, it's 2 in the morning. I'm there. I've been at work all day, and I think we spent 34 hours total. I spent like a week.
You spent.
Yeah, I think you did too.
Well, yeah, because I never went to sleep. But
yeah, you took little power naps like I did, like 5 minutes or whatever.
yeah, but we were in the ER for
because
well over 12 hours.
Yeah, we were there forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because, we're there and I'm not hungry. I think it's a thing when you're worried about someone you love that you're not hungry. You're just there, you're just running on whatever you have on your body. And I was not hungry. But the moment they said, okay, we're going to send you guys home and everything's good. And at the moment we stepped out of that
you're hungry,
that ER
yeah.
and we just had to get some meds, my stomach was like, all right, fool, like, I'm hungry. Let's eat. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, but it was stressful. We got a couple of scares when we were there because they're like, I said, a stroke. And then they were saying, no, we found something in the brain scan. It could be a tumor. It could be a clot. So, you don't know what's going on and you get scared. And your significant other starts crying and starts thinking the worst, which is a normal thing to do. I
felt like shit.
No, yeah, it's a normal thing to do. We all get scared. But, of course, you got to be a loving, supporting partner. And you're like, got to be positive and got to stay strong. Now, inside, I was a mess. I was already like, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this without you. Like, don't you quit on me.
Yeah, I was already telling him, you have to teach the kids to ski, please, when I'm not here anymore. And
yeah, it's a scary moment. I mean, we all get scared. I mean, especially after an ambulance ride. We're also thinking the worst.
Yeah, I went down the if I'm not here anymore, be nice to my mom. Like, you have to be nice to my mom because she has to help you raise the kids.
I was like, you asked for too much.
So it was a hard experience, and I don't mean to be crying, but it's still hard because they don't know what's wrong with me. And so, yeah, they finally found a medication that can manage my symptoms, but we don't know what caused it. I know it started because of an allergic reaction to something that I ate. They've tested me for shellfish, and it's not the shellfish. But I also ate goat cheese, and I had some wine, and I don't know if maybe the goat cheese had a bacteria in it. I don't know if something was wrong with the wine. I don't know at this point, and neither do they. So anyways, I could have a bacteria attacking my nervous system. My mom thinks I've started menopause at the age of 44. I don't know if anybody else out there has gone through this and has had similar experience where your body just starts randomly becoming numb. They tested me for MS. I don't have MS. So they have no idea what I could have because my symptoms are all over the place. But all my blood work's fine. All my cardiac rhythm is fine. Everything else is fine. So again, I will be going to neurology next.
Yeah. So, well, I guess my wife will be keeping us posted of what's going on. But yeah, so it's been interesting, and luckily we have great kids, and they stepped up and helped out at home. I'm talking about our boys, and help watch their little sisters, and luckily grandma's around too. So grandma's been helping out, helping them watch the other two, and feeding them. But so yeah, it's been a little roller coaster for the last couple of weeks, in and out of urgent care and stuff, and not sleeping for me because I work, and when I get home it's really late, and that's usually when when she starts having those episodes. So sometimes, as I'm walking in, she's already up. She's like, I just started. This is going on.
Like I can't sleep laying on one side or the other. I have to sleep flat on my back because my whole whatever side I'm sleeping on just falls asleep. And I know
the one thing that like we're really during the ER visit that she was really frustrated about is like we eat healthy. We're active. We're not as active as I want to be, but we watch what we eat. We read the labels. We take vitamins. We do all these things. And why is this happening to me? If I've always been taking care of myself and what I put inside my body, like what's going on? Why is this happening to me? And it's not happening to nobody else because nobody knows what it is. I thought it was gonna be Guillain-Barré. Because it started with her leg. Even though it was one, I just automatically thought Guillain-Barré.
And that's because you've known people.
I've known, two people that have Guillain-Barré, and one of them started with one leg. And then next thing you know, I don't know if he just sucked it up for the longest time because he's a man. And he just, being a man is like, whatever, just ignore it. And the next thing you know, he was just in the hospital, passed out, woke up, no control over any extremities of his body, couldn't walk, couldn't move his arms. He was pretty much like a vegetable. And we were like, oh, what the hell? And then they're like, oh, Guillain-Barré. I was like, okay. The other case was, female. She started not feeling good in her legs, and she continued going to the doctors, and she started feeling weak, and next thing you know, Guillain-Barré. So that's why I was like, maybe it started with the legs. And since 4th of July was, 3 weeks kind of before the symptoms got really heavy, or 2 weeks, usually takes about 2 to 4 weeks when it really attacks you. So we were around that cusp where I was like, maybe. But yeah, doctors are doctors, and they immediately dismissed it. They looked into it.
Yeah, because they said it's not symmetrical.
Right. And so yeah, it's been but yeah, so she was very frustrated about that one. And it's like sometimes the people that really good take good care of themselves and everything end up dying younger, and the ones that just don't
care, they live forever.
It's a roll of a dice thing.
And it's just, I have no history in my family. Like, there's no diabetics. There's no, my grandma had, heart surgery as a grandma, like she was way older. So it's not like a history of, younger people. Like, no, on neither side of my family. My grandpa died of cancer, but because he smoked all the time, he had esophageal cancer. So it's not like I come from a lineage of disease, you know, so it's not, there's no history. And it's just extremely frustrating is what it is, because I can't, like my face goes numb, like and it's all on my left side of my body for the most part. Like the left side of my face goes numb up into the back of my eyeball. Sometimes, like right now, my right cheek is tingling a little bit. Again, the medication they put me on has been fabulous in reducing that sensation of swelling. So but it's got a million and one side effects.
That's where I was going. I lost my train of thought. So yeah, so I get home and she's awake, and I doze off because I'm tired, and I doze off like 30 minutes or an hour, and I'm waking up and I'm checking on her, and I see her massaging her leg or massaging her arm. And I'm like, are you okay? Can you give me a water? I was like, all right, you need something, a medicine or something. It's like, no. And then next thing you know, I wake up again and she's not here. And I'm like, where are you? I was like, oh, I'm just walking around. Or I wake up, I look over, and she's trying to exercise, trying to get the blood flowing. And I'm like, all right. So, my 4 hours of sleep, if that, it's in pauses. Because I keep on waking up like every hour just to check. Until this recent time, my wife is horrible about medicine. She doesn't believe in medicine. She doesn't want to take it. because they think it's it could damage her body even more. There's side effects. She reads into everything. So she was really looking into this medicine. She's like, I don't know. And I was like, just give it a try. We'll see what happens. And she did. And she slept good the first night. And I slept good. I was very thankful for that one.
It took like 2 to 3 nights for it to like really kick in. But yes, I was finally able to sleep.
You did good and now you were able to sleep. And so
Yeah.
the last 3 days of the week, this past week, I was able to sleep. So I'm like, yes, this medicine is working.
Yeah.
I think only once you were like, I still feel a little something.
That was at the beginning. Like I still felt, I think when it was still taking hold. But yeah, I've been able to sleep on my sides without any issue the last 2 nights. But it's only a 5-day dose. So I'm about to come off of it. Technically today is my last day, but I saved one more pill because you're supposed to wean off of it. And it's interesting because I'm feeling effects, from not being on a full dose already. And I'm just afraid that it's going to come back with a vengeance.
No, but at the same time, maybe it'll help the doctors pinpoint what's going on, because if that worked this way, I was like, okay, so this tells me, because they know what that's supposed to do and work on.
Yeah.
So maybe, hopefully, it'll help them kind of start narrowing down this.
I know, but it just stresses.
The spaghetti.
It just, and maybe this is part of it too, is stress, right? And it just stresses me out even more because my kids start school, right? The kids are starting school. I made the commitment to homeschool our kindergartner, and I have to go pick up all the curriculum this week and start her homeschool program this week. And on top of that, still work my regular job. And then our other 3 kids start school the week after. We've got orientations and schedule pickups and all these different things going on. And I'm just like, I can't be sick for this. Like I can't have another attack. I can't. I'm actually afraid.
Oh, why? It's normal. It's human. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on. It's a lot of stress.
I'm speaking more from like, I get why people get addicted to things, because like I've only been on this medication for 5 days, but the way it's made me feel from the way I was feeling is day and night. That being said, I've also been on a lot of extra other things that are natural. Like before I take the medication, I take all my supplements. I'm taking a B complex liquid form. I'm taking vitamin E oil, drinking collagen shakes. I'm doing all these extra things that are nerve supporting, myelin sheath supporting. I'm taking liver detox. I'm taking all these different things to help support my system and prepare it for the medication. So I guess I'm going to keep doing that despite being off the medication, and hopefully, cross my fingers, it'll get me through until I see the neurologist. So, and that's kind of where I'm at. But definitely, I'm on a crazy emotional roller coaster. Like I just start crying at random reasons or random moments, or I just feel like crying. And other times, like the last 2 days or yesterday, we're just knocking out painting, right? Doing things around the house. And I'm just like, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. I got to get this done. And, it's just, I don't know. It's because I'm a mom and I got to get it done. It doesn't matter what else is going on. Like, I got to get it done. I hate feeling useless. I hate feeling like I can't be there for my kids or do things for my kids or even go to, work. Like I missed several days of work because of it. I hate that helplessness.
You're not alone. Everybody feels like that.
Yeah, I get it. But I'm not used to feeling this way. I know you have pain. But see, this is what's frustrating for me. Like, I know you deal with pain all the time, like your back, your hips, your knees, your ankles. Like, I know you are always dealing with some level of pain because of life. But for me, like, this is not life. Like, my life has not been any type of complication.
Yeah, but this wasn't my life either.
But this has been your life for a long time now.
Well, yeah.
Like, you've been dealing with all these things. Like, the pain that you have is chronic. Like, you've been dealing with it for years now. For me, this is sudden, out of nowhere, no idea where it came from. Well, it's not like I got in an accident, you know what I mean, and broke my clavicle or got, in something that causes. The only thing I could think of is that damn concussion I got, hitting my head on the ice years ago.
Has nothing to do with it.
Maybe that's what's in my brain. Hit my head on some ice skating many years ago. My head's never been right since.
Well, in my eyes, it was never right anyhow. Before that.
Oh, you're the one who married me.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then everyone's got their opinion, Like I said, someone thinks that it's sugar in your system. I literally, this medication also forces you to be off carbs because it's I forgot what's called glucose something type of medication. So it's affected by glucose so you're not supposed to have carbs.
So there you go, guys. There's the wrap up. There's get up. You're all cut up and everything that's been going on. This is why we haven't been on.
I guess this is his way of telling me to be quiet and stop talking now.
Kind of. Let's just change the subject because we're just.
But this is part of conversation. I don't understand. This is my frustration. I'm venting.
Okay, no, we'll keep going then.
Well, no, now you've told me to shut up.
I never said that. I was
you
just
basically just told me to be quiet.
Remember, we usually have a segment of like, tell us what I missed this week. Well, we're telling them what you missed
for the last several weeks.
That's what you guys missed.
But I mean, if anybody out there has had something similar or heard of something similar, and then found out what the,
I think from what you're saying, like even if. Yeah, everybody, like I always make the comment, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, right? So you're getting people saying, oh, it could be the sugar. You get people saying, like, oh, it could be menopause. Oh, it can be. I mean, I know everybody automatically goes to asking about stress, right? And stress.
Yeah, I've been asked that.
And stress,
anxiety.
I actually think that it has a big part of it because every time I notice that you were angry or frustrated or, you were stressed out about something with the kids or your mom or me, arguments or having to shout or be disciplinary or having to meet a deadline at work or everything. Every time you had one of those days, that's when you were the worst at night. So then to me, that's what I think is like, it's got to be stress. It's like, this is stress related for me for the longest time. When it starts talking about hormonal and then, because of that time and because of you're a female and your age, and it is kind of young, but I've heard about a few cases where other women get it at a younger age, in the 30s. Mm-hmm. I think I heard of one or two in the 20s, late 20s, which is weird.
That's super weird.
Which is weird.
Yeah. I mean, but this is weird too. So,
but still, so I know that a lot of women go through different stuff, different
ways,
side effects when they're going through menopause, and I've never heard of kind of like what you're going through.
According to my mom, she had similar symptoms. My mom swears that she dealt with her symptoms for 10 years in silence. I'm like, that she ended up in the ER 3 times.
Because that's not really in silence, is it?
Well, but I never knew. Like, as a family, my brothers and I never knew.
Yeah, because they get that from you guys.
Like,
that's
we
how they
never
did things,
knew.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But us, I mean, we like to keep an open book with our kids and let them know what's going on. So we don't tell them everything. We just tell them, mom, it doesn't feel good. We got to go to the doctors. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, obviously they're concerned. They want to know what's going on. I literally had to have a conversation with the boys because they're older and they're men, and I need them to step up, and I need to know what I kind of needed them to know what's going on. And so they understood, and maybe that's part of the reason why they stepped up, But when they weren't helping at moments because they see you and they're like, oh, mom's back to normal. I think I just got a mosquito. Sorry. they kind of forgot about it, and then they go back to normal and, slacking off and being clowns and fighting with each other. And then, you start listen, stop it. And then you get frustrated. And then, and I had to remind them in the morning because, hey, your mom was up last night. Did you guys upset her? Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, thanks a lot, guys. I was like, come on.
I mean,
so to me, that's my one correlation that I've noticed.
I've been asked by the doctors as well if I suffer from anxiety, and I don't think I suffer from anxiety. I know I was diagnosed with anxiety due to work while I was pregnant with our third kid, and that was just because that was a headache of a employment that I had. I was working as a human resources director and payroll manager, and wearing both hats at a very difficult company. And that, on top of the stress of being pregnant, it just kind of put me over the edge. So that's the only time I've ever been diagnosed with any type of anxiety, but it was work related. It wasn't life related, So, and I don't think I'm usually an anxious purpose. I don't think I'm an anxious person. I mean, what's your opinion on that? I mean, you see me.
No, you never suffer from anxiety. Yeah. I've never seen you.
I don't hyperventilate. No. I mean, I get mad, but
you don't. Oh, well. I think I've had 2 in my life.
Anxiety attacks.
Yeah. One was like, whoop. Well, I think when we first moved in together, and I called you and I was like, I'm not feeling good. Mm-hmm. And then the second one I ever had was, I think it was after I got laid off work and I wasn't working and I was watching the boys when you were working that job. Mm-hmm. And I remember that day I called you and I was like, I'm not feeling really good. I need you to come home. Something's weird. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, oh, okay, I'll call you back in an hour or 30 minutes. Let me handle something real quick and see where you're at. I think after we hung up, she was like, it hit me something weird, and I looked it up, and I was like, oh, it's like a mini anxiety attack, whatever. And then I just kind of started laughing. I was like, no way I'm getting this. Like, no way. And I was like, so I've self-diagnosed me too. Yeah, probably ever having maybe 2, because I thought about that all the time. Mm-hmm. So that was it. But from a lot of people that I've met that suffer from anxiety attacks and everything, yeah, no, you and me, no. I just like to think that, but no. I was like, compared to them, I was like, no.
No, I don't believe I'm an anxious person. Do I overthink things? Yeah, oh, yeah. Definitely. I overthink
things. Yeah. Are you a control freak? Yeah, yeah. Definitely.
But
do you get upset when things don't go according to your plan? Most definitely.
But I can usually roll with but I can usually roll with the punches. Like I might be upset and I might be frustrated, but I'm not going to throw a tantrum about it. I'm not going to hyperventilate about it. I'm not going to act like I'm dying and the world is ending. So, like, a 7-year-old. That's a noise. That's nothing.
Every time she's upset, and it's like,
it's a noise. Mm-hmm. That's it. Mm-hmm. Anyways, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I've got a busy next 2 weeks. And on top of that, when I told work that because of the whole homeschool thing now that I would not be coming into the office this week until I get a handle on it, the controller did ask me if it was going to be permanent. And she sounded concerned that I was going to make being at home permanent. Because I think they expect me to be in the office. Mm-hmm. And I think I touched on this before. If I can't, I'm going to have to choose.
What, your kid or work?
Yeah.
Well, that's an easy fucking pick.
I know it is. But, I mean, at the same time, it sucks because the income's nice. The income's nice.
Your kids are nicer.
I know.
Being an important chapter in their life and being able
to, I just...
what the beauty about right now is? There's freaking jobs everywhere. Yeah, everybody's hurting.
But no job that's going to give me the flexibility I have.
You don't know that?
Now.
Do you know that? Do you have a crystal ball right there that tells you everything?
Confident.
Yeah?
I'm very confident.
Okay. Well, then tell me the winning lotto ticket, please, so I can finally buy me one.
I'm just talking about jobs.
No, but you're very confident, so tell me.
I'm confident that there's no other job out there that will give me the flexibility and pay that I have.
Oh, yeah.
So that
such a great pay.
Hey, it's more than other people get paid.
I doubt it. People at In-N-Out get paid.
I get paid more than people at In-N-Out. What are you talking about? That's silly.
Just saying, everybody's hiring.
Oh, so you'd rather I work at In-N-Out for $19 an hour?
I didn't say that.
That's basically what you're saying, because you're saying there's lots of jobs out there. And that would require me to be out of the house.
I'm just saying there's a lot of jobs.
Okay.
I'm just telling you not to worry about the job. I was like, you're stressing. See, she does it to herself. She's overstressing about something, which causes her to get sick, to have all the symptoms.
I wasn't stressing when I first got sick.
All right.
I ate something that did something to me, and now I'm dealing with the aftermath of it.
Well, you're the doctor then. You figure it out.
I've been trying to, because the doctors don't know what they're doing.
Okay. Well, no.
I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah. That's the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. However long it's been.
That's way worse than when I went through my stupid little brain thing that they couldn't figure out what it was. And all it was just like a case of vertigo.
Yeah, you suffer from vertigo.
Yeah, I suffer from vertigo, yeah. I haven't had it in 2 years.
Well, that's because you changed your diet.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
It was only, 2 cases.
So that's linked to carbs then.
Yeah.
Your vertigo is linked to carbs. You know what? My mom also said.
Stress.
My mom too. I was just talking to my mom about this the other day. And she's like, I haven't had any vertigo. And guess what she's off of? Carbs. She's off the sugar. She hasn't had sugar in months. And she said she hasn't had a single attack of vertigo. So there still is something to sugar, people. There's still something to sugar. Like, I agree. Oh, we were talking about Dr. Saladino sent that message, that email, talking about ketogenic diets and carbohydrates. And so this is a doctor that we were following early on in the whole carnivore diet path that we were testing. And he is no longer a strict carnivore. He does mostly just eat protein still, but he's also added fruits, honey, maple syrup, and I think like one more thing, like natural sweet stuff, like nothing that's been manufactured. You know, like he's not drinking sodas and he's not eating sugar, you know. So he is basically talking about how the ketogenic diet that he was on for a year and a half, even though he was in a state of ketosis and he was feeling great at first, that there was a point where, as a man, his T3 or testosterone levels were really low. And that, plus all the working out and all the exercising he was doing, you know, so there's like I forget what it's called. It's a testosterone to something ratio. I don't remember what it was. But he was basically saying that those were way off. Oh, cortisol. Testosterone to cortisol ratios were way off. And for a man, when those are off, you're completely messed up, basically. So I just thought it was interesting.
Messes what?
The hormone levels, your T3 levels, your hair's falling out, you become weaker, your muscles are cannibalizing themselves instead of, you know, being built up. So I don't know if he was just doing it wrong, because I know you follow another doctor who's a carnivore, and he doesn't have any of these issues.
No.
So I'm not sure what the difference is.
Well, I know that both doctors used to have an argument, because one was a nose to tail carnivore, and that's the one that's the one you're talking about right now that had all those issues. While the other one doesn't do nose to tail. He just concentrates on
the muscles and the organs.
He never eats organs, actually.
He never eats organs?
I don't think so.
Huh.
He's just big old
And he's
ribeye,
always
New
working
York
out.
steaks. Yeah, and he was the orthopedic doctor too. And that's what
I
led
thought they
him.
were. I thought they were both cardiac surgeons.
No, he's orthopedic.
He's orthopedic,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's
Dr.
what-
Saladino's cardiac.
Yeah,
He
and
was a
that's what led him
cardiologist.
to find that. So when he was experimenting with that, he started doing keto, and he was seeing some results. And the reason why he went into it, he started one of his papers that he was studying. He started learning about carnivore, and decided to go that
I'm
path.
sorry. Who are we talking about? Dr. B or Dr. S?
No, beat.
Okay.
And so then he, being an orthopedic, started recommending people to try those diets, at least keto, to help them out before they end up going to get surgeries, like hip replacements, knee replacements, spinal infusions, anything like that, which he was finding out that it helped a lot of his patients out, not to end up getting the surgery.
Because why? Because you're reducing the inflammation in the system by
Right.
being in ketosis, right?
Right. And just getting rid of all those fake processed foods.
Yeah. So both doctors ultimately, and not just them, every carnivore doctor.
But it also proves, that all bodies are different too.
That's true.
Genetic codes. So there's another doctor that I just discovered in the last year from New York, Dr. Kiltz, I think it is. And he pops up a lot recently. But he's an older gentleman too, great body, very healthy as well. And he also has a lot to talk about the carnivore diet. And he's been a carnivore for, I'm going to go on a limb, 20 to 30 years or more.
Okay, don't quote him on that because he's not sure.
I'm going to have to look that one up.
Well, I think the point being, like you said, that every body is different, right?
Right.
So, like, a carnivore, like, let's say, works for you, might not work for me. So, I might need a few carbs every now and then.
Right.
And then, like, Dr. S, Dr. Saladino versus Dr. B Baker, right? Dr. Baker, you're saying he never eats any types of carbohydrates, whereas Dr. Saladino has begun to incorporate carbohydrates into his diet. And for him, he feels better having incorporated just those little few things, right? His hormone levels balanced and all this stuff. Whereas Dr. Baker, that's not a conversation I think we've ever heard as an issue with him. And then, what are you doing?
That is how mosquito.
Oh, I know. The house is like terrified of mosquitoes right now. The kids keep getting bitten. But, okay, so my point being that, we're talking about different body types. So.
And on that note, actually, it's funny you say that because I used to get bombarded by mosquitoes. They used to eat me alive. Mm-hmm. And I noticed since I changed, I barely ever get bitten now.
Well, I haven't gotten bitten since 4th of July, and I think it's because the mosquitoes are afraid of whatever's in my blood. I was like, if the mosquitoes won't even bite me, there has to be something wrong with me.
I tell the baby that they and they're eating her alive because she's so sweet.
Because she eats too many sweets. Mm-hmm. I tell her it's because she eats too many sweets. Mm-hmm. That little girl, she doesn't want to eat right now unless it's something sweet. And she wants cereal. She wants her yogurt. Wants cookies. She wants all this stuff. She will take a fluffy scrambled egg every now and then. And she will take some meat every now and then. But that's about it. She's just in that picky phase right now. But I had another point with the whole ketogenic stuff. I forgot.
No, you were saying something about we all have different bodies, different genetic codes.
Yeah. What works for you might not work for me.
Others,
yeah. So.
And it's always a common thing that we always say, right?
Yeah.
So for me, the thing that I hate that you do, and I've always said it, is that you eat freaking bread.
Yeah.
You're always eating bread. Like before.
I haven't.
You haven't now. You do, but not like you used to.
No, I haven't had bread in a month.
I think it's a little less than that.
Well, okay. Today. No, I didn't even have bread.
But I'm shaking my head. No, no, really. But like for me, I hate it. But then that's just me because I know what bread does to me. And it's funny, right? Because I've been tempted with pizza lately, and then when it comes to the pizza, I'm like, oh man. And okay, one slice, and then later on, like you always say, I regret it. So recently, we had pizza at work, and I was like, all right, cool, and I stuck to it. I just grabbed the layer of cheese and the meat,
pepperoni,
and I ate it, and I threw the bread, and I was like, what? I was like, this is how if I ate it, as I'm supposed to eat it. I was like, but it's got the marinara sauce. I'm not supposed to eat that either, you know. But that over the bread, I'll take that. But for me, when you eat the bread, I'm like, oh, you know, you're not supposed to be eating that.
Yeah, you eat a lot of things you're not. So like I bought the kids these like little kind bars, like the little mini ones for snacks. And I find out today that my husband's been eating them. I'm like, those are for the children, not for you.
It's
Like,
almonds.
they're delicious. It has almonds.
And sea
Yeah,
salt.
but you're the one who's like, I don't eat almonds. I don't eat this. I don't eat that. It's got sugar in it too. You're not supposed to be eating that. Also, I've been doing my glucose every morning, a glucose test every morning. Since, you know, this whole trying to figure out what's wrong with me, I started taking my glucose every morning, and I was doing really good. Like, my glucose was down to like 95 or 94 or something like that. Was like the lowest I've gotten. And I tested it yesterday, and I had a slice of watermelon. Mm-hmm. And I had a slice of watermelon before I went to bed, like maybe about 2-3 hours before I went to bed. I had a slice of watermelon, and my blood sugar this morning was at 104, I think. 106, somewhere in that range. Like 104 to 106 was in that range. Yeah. So maybe 106. It was like 106 was my blood sugar this morning. And that was from just eating
the watermelon.
A slice of watermelon.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I'm not super concerned about it. Excuse me, even though I have someone else that would tell me that I should be concerned about it. But it's a fruit sugar, and I'm not worried about fruit sugars.
I just heard recently that it's worse to drink the sugars.
Yeah.
Because your body really doesn't know what the hell to do with it.
Yeah, you're dumping sugar into your system.
Yeah,
like,
but
so,
when you eat
Kool-Aid
it,
and
ingesting it, kind of like
sodas.
fruits, then it's fine. Your body's like, okay,
I'm eating this.
Yeah, I'm eating this. I know what to do with this.
And there's other properties in it, right? So there's going to be fiber, like the fruit fibers. You got other vitamins within the fruit that you're going to be getting. Like if you ate a kiwi, you're going to get tons of vitamin C. So the banana, you're going to eat a banana. You're getting sweet, but you're also getting potassium. So eating all these fruits, and this is something I don't know if we've talked about this, but how I love that if you follow eating fruit when it's in season, that's how you're supposed to eat fruit. You know, we're not supposed to eat fruits. We're not supposed to have apples all year long. We're not supposed to have oranges all year long. We're not supposed to have, pears all year long. There's a season for all these fruits, and there's a reason that they're in season during that time. And it's because the nutrients in those fruits are what you need to survive. Like if you were out in the wild, you'd be able to survive off those fruits and the nutrients that those fruits provide during that season.
Well, now that you said that, I started thinking about when's the last time I had either a peach, a plum, or a pear, and I really want one now. Of each. Or one. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure we can find them at the store because all those things are in season all the time because of all the GMO. I mean, they're all genetically modified.
Fruits I loved as a kid.
Yeah, but nowadays everything's genetically modified to be available all year long.
Yeah, and it sucks because in my memory bank, I remember them a certain way and a taste a certain way.
Yes.
And then, let's say from my memory from the last time I had them, they weren't as soft and juicy, and that smell wasn't as enticing as I remember it.
Like your dad had fig trees, right?
Oh,
right?
trees.
When you had a season, has fig trees. You have a season for the figs, right?
Fig tree is so old.
And in my house growing up, we had apricot trees. Like
apricots.
An apricot off a tree is so different than whatever they sell you at the store. You know, I just remember how delicious those
Guava.
apricots
Oh
were.
man, I love guavas too.
Remember there was
The
a
trouble we had
guava,
at my
was there
sister's
a
house.
guava tree that was like near where we lived, when we were living south of the border, and our son and his babysitter would go walking to the little store, and they would have to pass this guava tree, and whatever fruit I guess had fallen on the sidewalk that was still good, the babysitter would pick up and feed him. Like she'd take it back to the house and give him. He learned to love guava because of that.
I love guavas.
So, or guayabas,
Guayabas,
guavas. So anyway, my point being that there is a season for fruit. So like this whole Dr. Saladino idea where, you know, get your sugars from your fruits. I'm on board with that idea.
But fruits are carbohydrates, right?
They do. Yes. Because it has sugar in it. So it's a carbohydrate, but it's a natural slow burning sugar versus a fast burning sugar. It's like your honey, right? We were drinking
You know what
coffee
I would
with
like?
honey.
Do you guys know anybody that's like a keto expert or knows enough about keto? I would like to have a guest to educate us on keto. I want to see what much of a difference between keto
I've learned
and
that there's
carnivore is.
all these different types.
That's why I'm asking, because there's so many people that take like shortcuts or they alter it or they change it. So it's kind of like when we're talking about carnivore, and so in my eyes, like Saladino makes some good points when he's pointing out stuff. Like if you follow him, is what was it, Carnivore MD?
I don't remember.
That was his podcast. I believe it's the same handle for Instagram. I'm not sure, but he does videos where he goes around and he goes to stores or restaurants and he asks for their ingredients, and he lets you know why certain things are bad, you know, and how many people use soy oil, which you learn that majority of the fast food joints
Everything has soy in it now
uses soy oil to fry their foods.
because it's cheap.
So in that aspect, that's educational. He has all those things, but the fact that he's not carnivore anymore, like 100, is a little kind of So that's what I mean. Even carnivore now is taking little slight detours, right? But I understand it's his body; it's different. We all have different. So,
this is what works for him.
yeah. So it's kind of like, you know, when I was saying this. Oh well, when I went full carnivore, like my body was different. When I went, I'm just gonna introduce avocados, or I'm gonna introduce the honey, and then later on it's like, oh well, I'm just gonna kind of make kind of keto, add a little bit of this and a bit of that. And it's funny how little by little, a lot of my symptoms have returned. So,
But you're also eating other things that are not considered even keto.
yeah, and that's the thing. I'm not educated for keto.
Yeah,
right?
but
So I don't know exactly what it is. Because there's moments where I'm like, I should just try keto. But then I don't know why. I was just like, that devil part of me inside, you know.
I think it's because I think on a keto diet you're allowed to eat a lot of nuts and stuff, right? And we've learned.
Oh, I love these nuts.
My gosh, we've learned, and not even just from learning it, but just tasting it, right? Like I have a pack of a little keto snack, like trail snack things, right? And I tried eating one the other day. I bought them for the kids, and I tried eating one the other day, and all I tasted was old oil. Like
that is one thing I noticed too.
The rancid taste of the nuts.
Yeah,
and it's not appealing because now I know that that's past its prime. Like that walnut or that almond or that cashew or whatever is in that mix is no longer fresh. It's now oxidized, right? That's why it smells that way. That's why it tastes that way. It's the oil has oxidized, and that oxidized oil I know is not good for your system.
and then I also think about like, what do those nuts go through, like in the plant? Because when I was a kid, we always had them
fresh.
But they were there on their shell.
There's
so you had to work to get them. So that's how lazy we become.
Yeah,
that it's just like, in the back,
I miss
simple.
that. I feel like we need to go down to Mexico
Just like sunflower
and get the
seeds.
kids,
You know,
get the
like
kids
when
those
you buy the bag of
roasted
sunflower
ones.
seeds, but it's just the seeds, and you're like, wait, hold on, you just
Where's all the work?
Wait, where's the work? Like that's a distressor right there.
Well, like when we were kids, my dad would go down to TJ, and my dad would buy us the pepitas, right? And they would be roasting right there in front of you,
Pumpkin
or the
seeds.
peanuts. Yeah, pepitas are pumpkin seeds, or the peanuts would get roasted right there in front of you, and You could get them with or without salt,
And
but
it's
it was,
hilarious because that place has grown. It was like this little hole in the wall, and this little cart outside, and they would sell them. This is one place now in downtown TJ that did this. I want to say it is between, was it 4th and 3rd Avenue?
this
I
was
could be
many years
wrong.
ago. He hasn't been there in years.
But it's so funny because I remember the last couple of times when your dad used to be like, "Oh, can you give me a bag or something?" And I would go, and now it's like this big old fancy factory thing where everything, and the freaking line is so long depending on the day or the time that you go, and it's full of no habla people, no habla.
Yeah.
No habla people. They all look Mexican, but they're all from San Diego, and before they go back to the U.S., they stop
And get
to
their
buy
bag.
that stuff. Yeah,
But it's the freshest you're gonna get. I mean,
so freaking
it's
good.
so
though.
good. I honestly, we need to go get some. We all got our passports finally. We can.
Yes, my passport has
Yes,
finally
his
arrived.
passport finally arrived. We can all now
I
go
can
get some
And
tacos.
I know that people will say, like, well, you can still cross without your passport. But I don't feel like waiting in line with all of them other people. I like to just, go through the little really fast lane.
Yeah, the faster of the faster lanes.
The VIP lane. I've been a good boy all my life, so I get this perk.
Yeah, that's true. That's what that one says. But basically, I mean, we technically now can go and get these things, but it's not something that's easily found here.
Yeah, but I mean, like, we had like the Brazilian nuts and the walnuts and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like we would crack them and stuff.
Even at the holidays, right? The holiday nut mix, and even those sometimes they taste rancid once you actually open them.
Oh yeah, because they get old, right? And that's when I learned. I think it was cashews, the ones that you would never get on the shell.
Okay,
Because
the
of the
shells.
oil.
Oh,
The oil in it is so acidic, it will burn your skin.
I
So
didn't know
cashews
that.
you would never get on their actual.
See, and this is part of the whole carnivore thing where they say you're supposed to avoid nuts because of these what Saladino would call protective toxins. Right? So there's many plants that have these toxins to protect them from being eaten by everyone else. Yet we've all figured out how to eat them.
Yeah, adapt or die.
Adapt to die?
Adapt or die.
Oh, adapt or die. And that's true. I mean, sometimes that's all you had to eat. You couldn't get a kill.
That's when we talk about like the genetic codes. Like if you're actually from the Americas and that is a fruit or a plant from the Americas that has
It's in your genetics.
survived
Yes.
for decades, millions, millennia, whatever.
Yeah.
It's your body should have that code that's why sometimes you crave certain things and you want it and you don't have an allergic reaction to it because it's part of.
Well, look, like I had potatoes one of the days that I was doing my whole like checking my blood sugar. It didn't spike my blood sugar.
Really?
The potatoes did not. I had mashed potatoes with steak. And I did not get a spike.
You know what's funny? I was so sorry. I'm going off subject here.
Go ahead.
I hear potato, and I just in my head I hear our son, just potato.
Talking about his cat.
Yeah, potato.
So I mean, but it's in my genetic code, right? So
Right.
with
Yeah,
the Incan,
that's the Peruvian blood
that's
right
the
there.
Incan blood. Yeah.
You guys have like I don't know 30-something different types of
potatoes.
potato.
Yeah.
36 or 32?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Man, we get fact checked a lot of this stuff.
So, yes, it's a potato. It's a potato
And maybe,
thing.
maybe introducing some of that stuff might help some of the symptoms. You think? Maybe
for me?
something that getting cut off, and maybe your body needs.
I don't know. I've been eating everything right now except
some of
bread.
This vitamin right here, this vitamin.
I had some of that the other night. Didn't do anything
Vitamin D,
other than let me
vitamin
sleep.
Danny. That's right.
But I was going to say something that mattered.
I matter.
I have been eating everything except carbs, like bread. That's the only thing I haven't had is bread, which sometimes I do really want, like a slice of toast with some jam on it and butter. But again, I've been really good at not having it because this medication I've been on has A, I'm not supposed to have it, but B, I've just also been process of elimination to see if it's something I have been eating that could be causing it. So, I now know it's not shrimp. We know it's not coffee, but I'm still not going to eat coffee. I'm still not going to have shrimp. I haven't had any type of alcohol, in this last month for the same reason. I'm just avoiding everything little by little.
I had a buddy that I knew back in Virginia. Never got sick. Never. I mean, never got sick, this punk. I used to get jealous, and he said, you know why I never get sick? Because there's too much alcohol in my blood.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I mean, there's people who say if you have enough alcohol in your system, nothing can survive.
I didn't want to say this earlier, but like those times when the first time when I had the little kind of what I think was an anxiety attack, a little bit of alcohol helped me calm down. A little whiskey.
Yeah.
So.
See, and I know I had an allergic reaction to something that I ate that week, and even though my sister, and one of the ER doctors, he did say that, and I forget the name of it, starts with an E, some type of enzyme in my blood was elevated, and that enzyme is a marker for an allergic reaction. They just have no idea what to.
Real quick, we were talking about, and it's going to drive me crazy.
Okay.
So I did look up how many types of potatoes are varieties in Peru.
Okay.
I said like 3,600, right?
I just thought you said 36.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, if I said 36, I meant to say 3,600. Oh, no. You're right. I did say 36, 32 to 36. Well, people, I was wrong. It's way more than that. There are 4,000 potato varieties in Peru.
They love their potatoes.
Potatoes. No, they don't. Potatoes not one of the main consumers there. I know that they export the crap out of it. Yeah.
I grew up eating a lot of potato and rice. Like our staples at home were steak, potatoes, and rice, and a salad. Like I think we had that often, and chicken. Like those were the things we ate all the time. Heart. Oh, I love heart. I have been eating a lot of heart lately. You are not a fan of heart.
No, I like heart.
Unless it's grilled.
No, I like heart. That's the liver. I prefer liver grilled. But I do like heart. It's just lately.
You just don't feel it?
I don't feel it, but once I start eating it, I'm kind of like happy.
I had heart this morning.
The heart I love is the damn chicken heart.
I haven't had chicken heart in a long time.
With the, I don't know, gizzards?
Gizzards. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good stuff.
But it has bok choy. The way I grew up eating it.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I mean, again, I'm doing what I know to do or what I'm figuring out to do to make myself feel better, and I'm being
a fat boy right now.
What?
You're talking about potatoes and everything?
Yeah, papa la huancaína.
Yes, exactly. I was like, man, it's a papa la huancaína sounds good right now.
That's a Peruvian dish for anybody out there. Papa la huancaína.
Yeah, it looks like sliced potatoes with some hard-boiled eggs.
They've been boiled, so it's boiled potatoes that have been peeled and sliced, hard-boiled eggs, but it has like a yellow,
like
spicy
mustard,
sauce, like a mustardy ají.
They call it ají, but I really don't know what it is.
It's it's good. I think I made it one time for a barbecue with your friends before we had kids.
No, that was lomo saltado.
No. It was the ají. It was the potatoes.
No, I remember the one with the fries. Which one's that one?
That's the lomo saltado.
That's the one everybody went crazy over.
I didn't make that one.
Yes, you did. Everybody went crazy over that one.
I could have sworn there was a yellow sauce somewhere in there because I remember the wives were like, "This is so good," and they were talking about the yellow sauce.
They liked it, and you did both.
Oh, I did.
The
both.
guys loved the one with the fries.
All guys love lomo saltado. Like my mom said that's part of the reason he married her was because she made lomo saltado, and he ate that for like 2 years straight. Like that's all he ever wanted to eat.
you didn't make none of those for me before I got married, so I can't say that. But I did like the arroz chaufa. I did love the Peruvian tamales that your grandma made,
I
and
love my
those
grandma's
beans.
Peruvian, the puercos, frijoles
Yeah,
puercos,
those were different. So
ahumados.
so real quick, a side story. When I was dating my wife, um, she invited me over to her uncle and aunt's ranch, and for the Super Bowl party. Unbeknown to me, her uncle was a Seahawks fan, and the Seahawks were playing the Steelers, and I had money on the Steelers. So it was kind of awkward because I was trying to be like, a good guest, and like, oh man, they blew that call. Oh man, come on, Seattle, you got this, But in the back, I was like, please, 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 big man, make this happen. I need that money. But her grandma cooked for the Super Bowl party. Her grandma and my mother-in-law and her aunt, and that was my exposure to all these different Peruvian dishes. Because grandma went all out. Like, it was just a few of
Did
us.
she make cacao too?
Not that time.
Oh.
And she put it, it was a spread. There was maybe 10 of us there, and it was a cookout for like easy 50, 60 people. I was like, damn. And the tamales, like, to me, I was like, what?
Wasn't
like,
that anticuchos too? Or was that another time?
Which was another time. And it's funny that you say right now you're talking about heart. I'm always going to remember this grandma of yours for this. There was one party, and they were prepping the anticuchos. So it's the beef heart, and they put it on like skewers. Mm-hmm. But the way it's seasoned,
it's been marinated in like vinegar and
all
and
red wine
yeah.
and stuff like that, and all these spices. And so they were like, "Oh, would you grill it?" I was like, "Yeah, but I don't know how you guys like it grilled." I was like, "Just tell me." It was like, "Well, medium." And I was like, "Okay, medium, all right." So you want it a little bloody, right? And I was like, "Yeah." So then I'm cooking it, and then I have like the Peruvian cousins over here like, no, man, you got to cook it a little bit more. It has to be a little toasty on the outside and everything. And I was like, all right, no, you got to keep on flipping it. I was like, no, you don't. Like, I have my method. So it turned into an argument because I had like some Peruvian man around me telling me not to do it the way the grandma said, and then I was trying to make something like the grandma made. So bottom line, I kind of snuck a half of them that were kind of medium on the bottom, and I put like those other ones that the cousins told me on the top that were kind of like well made. And the grandma goes to grab it, and then she goes to bite one, and she's like, I'm sorry, everybody. He's Mexican. He doesn't know.
But it was what my cousins told you to do or whatever, right?
And it was like, I don't know if I was offended or I just found that shit hilarious. Oh, obviously I'm laughing at it now, but to me, I'm always gonna think about that day because I was kind of like, at first I was shocked and I was a little butthurt because I didn't meet her standard. But then I guess after everybody started getting the stuff, and then she got to the middle part of it, and she's like, "Why is this one better?" He's like, "Because this is the way you told me. You don't let me explain to you. You just jumped to the first one." And but I kept that in mind. And so from there on, whenever she's like, "Mijo," I was like, "Nope, I'm Mexican. I don't know how to cook anything Peruvian."
Which we've learned actually from some restaurants we've tried is a fact. But
no, it's not.
Yes,
I could probably cook it better.
Well, either way, I love heart, and I've been eating some heart more often lately.
That's why I don't have a heart anymore.
I'm not eating your heart. I don't know. Maybe somewhere in my head, I'm feeling like if I eat the heart, I'm going to get whatever vitamins I need that my nervous system is lacking.
Right. Yeah, and like always, organs have the most.
Yeah, organs have the most vitamins. And so, anyways, again, I'm on a whole regimen of vitamins and supplements every day, just trying to support my system. But hey, I haven't gotten sick from anything else, and I've been in the doctors all this time and exposed to all these germs.
The one I was worried about it was when we finally our son had his little birthday party, and so we ended up going to this rock climbing place. It was a great experience. It was awesome. I really enjoyed it.
It was just so
But
hot.
it was so freaking hot. It's so freaking hot. It was like a freaking sauna in that place. And then the sun started setting around 7 o'clock.
8 o'clock. It was eight
No,
o'clock.
7 o'clock. And then we went upstairs because like the pizzas got there. We were gonna do like we didn't have a cake. My son just like just get some donuts, and my wife put like these pics with little dragons on it. And we're like, all right, cool. And we had like a little private little room or whatever. And I was saying 7 o'clock because that's when we went up there, I think, or was it 6 o'clock?
That's 6 o'clock.
Well, somewhere around 6 or 7. But when we were going upstairs, people started showing up
Like
and I was
crazy.
like, yeah. So by the time we came back down, we still had like another hour for the kids to rock climb, and it was super packed. So it got cooler, but because of all the bodies that were in there, it was a different type of heat.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, this must suck.
Yeah. It was, there's a lot of parents who just dropped off their kids because maybe they knew. I'd been to this venue before for a birthday party, but it was not.
So, yeah, so
It
we
was not in the
decided
summer.
we'll do it in the winters.
Yes, from
But
now on, any rock climbing will be in the winter.
If you're one of the moms as a kids that went there and you listen to this podcast, which I doubt it, but if you do, and you let your husbands come over, thank you. I had a great time with those two dads.
Yes.
Finally, there was dads there, and we got to talk.
Yes, none of the moms stayed. It was just the dads.
But the funny thing for me, I was like, this would be the place that the moms want to be at because you get to see young guys without shirts showing out their muscles, flexing around everywhere. Like, who wouldn't?
I was busy running around after the kids. Mind you, this is like days after I got out of the ER, and I'm like running around following our kids, our little ones, to make sure they're not like falling off rocks or falling through nets and things like this. And my husband's just sitting there talking to these other dads, and I'm just like looking at him in the distance, and I just keep walking around. I was like, you know what? He never talks to other dads. It's fine.
But I'll still help. I mean, I helped load up.
I mean, at
and
one
load
point,
everything.
yes.
And I got all the kids rigged up. I got them shoes.
Yes,
I put them on. All the little girls, I was like treating them like Cinderella, like I treat my own daughters. I was like, you're not my daughter, but I was like, all right.
They got some mouths on them, huh?
Yeah, but I was like, but your parents, I don't know. One of them was well behaved around me.
Yeah, but the other one.
She's got to, I mean, she's like, that's probably could be my future father.
Oh, the one. The one who's obsessed with.
No, that one was bad.
No, the little redhead.
Yeah.
She was the one that was good. The other one was a spunky.
No, the other one was nice with around me.
That was the one who talked back to you in the room when she said, Nanya.
That was our daughter.
All right, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yes, you don't. Bottom line was, I thought everybody was fine. I helped out. Sat down with the dads, talked. Sweated my balls off. It was hot.
They were in front of a fan, but I guess one of the dads had the fan pointed at him a little bit more.
Yeah, but they're all skinny. I'm fucking fat. And then, of course, I had to. I had to climb the boulder. I had to do it.
You did climb?
Hell yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah. I went around the side where nobody can see me from the, and I started climbing a boulder. Made it halfway, and I said, nah, fuck this. I can't do this no more. I mean, I was doing all right.
But it's just because you've got some extra weight.
But I lived vicariously through my kids, and my sons were killing it. I was surprised at the stamina those kids had. They were going, I guess they were racing each other all the time, trying to see who made it up there fastest.
But our 11-year-old, he's such a goof. I don't know how many times he threw himself off the dang wall just to land and thud on the ground.
No, he did good. He was tired. He was.
He was goofing off with one of his friends. He'd like climb up.
Yeah, but that's training
let
too.
Go and throw himself on the thing.
Still climbing halfway and letting yourself go. But when he was around me, he was going all the way to the top. And he's like, "Tommy, Dad." I was like, "Give me some advice. Where do I go here?" And then when they were doing the one with the crazy angle, which I thought was a little hard for them, but by all means, they were trying it. I know our oldest was obsessed with it, but it was awesome. It's a great experience. I had a good time, but yeah, it was too freaking hot. So definitely.
But he finally got his party, right? We owed him that party for a year.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So he finally had a party with his friends, and he got what he wanted. He had a great time. So, I guess that's about it. I mean, we've been working on the house. We got another birthday party coming up, and we're trying to.
Yeah, I was trying to have some fun with the kids before they go back to school, but work schedule and my wife's condition and like we've been putting out some stuff in the house, so we've been finally trying to get stuff done, and so it's just been kind of stressful and draining, and missing a week with a bad back. And
that's right. You were down for the count too before I was in the ER.
So yeah, it's been a crazy month. So yeah, July's officially over. So
yeah, but we're still in August and it's still just as bad.
No, because we're barely 7 days in, and
barely 7 days
and
in.
July just. I mean, you started with this shit like you said for the July weekend, so
yeah,
that's the beginning of it. So
yep.
From there on, and then my back was also July, and then the heat was also July. My son's staying was in July, so it's just been.
And now we've got something every weekend moving on.
What the fuck are you talking about? We have that all the time.
Well, yeah, but you don't necessarily participate.
No, and I still don't have to participate on the next ones.
Oh, no, you're not. Because one's a baby shower, another kid's birthday.
That could have been the subject right there.
Our daughter. Then I'm supposed
baby showers.
Then I'm supposed to go to a friend's house swimming, and
I'm
then
pretty sure
our daughter's birthday.
I'm sure I said this before on this podcast.
I don't have to do all these things.
You can say no.
But I said yes like a month ago. These are my friends that I see like a couple times a year. I can't say no. Unless the kids are sick, or I guess I'm sick in the hospital. It's the only time I'll say no.
No comment.
No comment. Well, because you see your friends every day.
No,
your coworkers. Yes, you do.
No, I don't see Eddie every day, and I don't see Luis every day.
Well, you see your peeps way more than I see mine. I see mine maybe once or twice a year. So.
And then Eddie takes forever to answer my freaking text.
I guess you can say his name now because he's already been on the podcast, right?
And I'm like, dude, where are you? So, yeah, I'll just wait for you to answer me.
It's like, don't be so needy.
Yeah. Toxic.
I know.
Yeah.
So he has a wife and kids for it. He doesn't need another one. I'm not saying that his wife and kid are toxic. I'm just saying you're being toxic because he's trying to, live his life.
Oh, no, I actually was hitting him up because I wanted to know if he was cool if I got him some pizza. But he answered me way too late, so the pizza was pretty much gone. I was like, nah.
Too late.
Too late, buddy.
Stop bringing pizza home, please.
It's for the kids. It's not for you. It's for the kids.
And you eat it too. Stop bringing pizza home from work.
Don't.
Give it to them. Let them take it home. Don't bring it home anymore. And cookies.
You're not the boss of me.
I'm the boss of the kids, and I don't want them eating that like every week. School's back on.
It's August.
Huh?
I'm sorry. August.
I know. School should not be until September. It really shouldn't. After Labor Day, people. After Labor Day. And in all honesty, I believe that vacation, they should not be in school the whole month of December. December, like from half of December, actually, from Thanksgiving to New Year's, there should be no That's when everybody's with family and holidays.
School in August, that should be how it is.
Right? Anyways. And I avoid all the people getting sick from the cold season. Yeah. All right. Well. Thank you for joining us. Sorry for the ramble. Again, if you guys have any idea what my medical condition could be, any suggestions, please hit me up. And I don't know. Let us know if you too are ready for school and all the driving around you might have to be doing for school.
Oh, yeah. And I hope you all got all the school supplies in time.
I know.
Because I'm pretty sure everything's empty
lots
right
of people don't do it till they, like, after school starts. So, not us. We're done. I think we're done. Ready to go. Uniforms are purchased.
And it's a little more crazy, even though our baby's gonna be pretty much homeschooled. For me, it's trippy because now all our kids are officially school kids.
Yeah.
No more lonely little one. I mean, she's still gonna be, but it'll be cool to see them all. So sitting down and do homework together. And our oldest one, well, he's pretty close to coming to the end of
He's a sophomore this year.
the high school. Yeah,
He still
high
has
school
3
days.
years.
No, he still has college too.
Well, assuming he goes.
Oh no, he's going.
Assuming he goes.
No, he better go.
He still thinks he's going to go to Michigan.
I don't know why he's talking about Michigan. I mean, you can make it better and just go to USC.
Why do you want him to go to school in California?
Him his whole
Why in
life
the world
to
would
go
you
to
want him to go to
USC.
school in California? With all the crap that's going on here.
See.
Aren't we always talking about
It's
moving
Michigan.
out?
You think Michigan's great?
Are we always talking about moving out of this state and you want our kids to go to school here?
Yeah, it's USC.
Oh,
Way cheaper when you're resident in California.
well, if we move to another state, they will be residents of that state.
No,
and they
because
can
you
go
need
to
to be
that
resident
school.
of that state, I believe, for a year
Like
or
5,
two before.
Well, then I guess we better go buy a house somewhere else then. Anyway, well, have a good night. Thank you for joining us. And we'll be fact checking ourselves with links and all this stuff in the episode details. Have a great night. Rest of your week. Bye.
Peace.